Hey guys, welcome back to Greenlight Cinema. I'm your host, Brando. We have just watched the fantastic four. I'll make this short and simple, kind of to the point, because this movie is still relatively brand new. This movie came out apparently right along the same time as Superman. I feel like it's a weak marketing game for this film, because I didn't even know anything about this movie other than just going to Little Caesars every now and then and seeing them on the box, which their Little Caesars promotional was like flawless, okay? It's a sausage pizza with jalapenos. Johnny, I got that. That was Johnny's pizza because it's hot. Before we begin on this review, please, guys, subscribe to Greenlight Cinema and like this episode. This film, to me, it was very interesting. Like, I had a few notes on it. I don't have much to say. I will say that this was the most unique Fantastic Four film that I have ever personally watched. I grew up watching, of course, the only ones that we really got to see. No one got to see that Roger Corman film, which I heard that the actors to that film was supposed to be in this. I never seen them one iota. Maybe there's small Easter eggs in there. I didn't see or notice. Probably a lot of Easter eggs I missed. But what I did notice is what we're going to talk about today. So this film, The Fantastic Four First Steps, I guess the other films are partially still canon. Heard that maybe like at some point that all the Fantastic Fours are supposed to meet up, which, you know, if this is true, I guess that would all tie in things with Deadpool, because we've seen Chris Evans, Johnny Storm, destroyed up to a crisp in the last Deadpool Wolverine movie. We'll talk about that briefly too. Very brief, this movie starts out on Earth 828, which is apparently like an Earth that we don't relatively know very well in the Marvel world, I don't think. Actually, this film was like a very retro, space age retro, futuristic, but very still like 60s retro with wholesome. I seen somewhere where like the producer of Deadpool was like goofing on this film. This movie is wholesome. It's got a human element like Superman to it also, you know. If you have a kid, you know, you definitely can put yourself in the Fantastic Four shoes, or you know, the price was too big, you know. This movie was so adult and interesting. It didn't need to be a laugh-a-minute riot from Ryan Reynolds' Deadpool.
Pegging isn't new for me, friendo, but it is for Disney.
But instead we're invited to a bizarre concept of a happy married couple with a family and their friend's brother and brother-in-law that work together as a team. Wholesome can be interesting without crass, vulgar, hacky, overplayed jokes constantly being shoved down our throats every 5 moments. That's not how movies work. Let the scene breathe, and then you add humor if necessary. This movie had its own merit. This movie carried its own style, but in a very different Marvel form. And I noticed the director was Matt Shankman. I don't know if anyone else knows, he's done WandaVision. He also has directed a few episodes of Fargo. He's not the cinematographer or anything, but he, you know, points and shoots. A couple of these scenes look so retro-esque that I was like, oh my gosh, I feel like I'm almost watching a Fargo. Beautiful shots. I feel like the color scale could have been upped a little bit. It's like Marvel and DC are switching up on like colors. I mean, the most amazing, funniest thing, my wife looks at me, Julia, at the end of this and says, James Gunn sure does know how to work a green screen. And I'm like, you betcha. Well, Julia, what this reminded me of, and it felt like and looked like, was a really pretty looking, very pretty, gorgeous looking Disney Plus series. You know, I almost had a hard time believability of it being a film. Like, this would have been a great series, but as a film, it's very interesting too. It just went in very different directions, I guess. But it definitely built out, I think it definitely lives up to where it needs to be, but it's definitely not what everyone's looking for, probably. Never did get a chance to see Jurassic World, but so far, I've got to see all the hit blockbuster films. I'm not trying to brag, but Superman and Fantastic Four First Steps. What do I like better, though? Probably still Superman, but this movie though has gotten my interest peaked back into Marvel all the way. So a few more elements of this I want to talk about. I just want to give this movie right now 4.5 stars. Absolutely one of the most amazing things I've seen from Marvel since like at least Endgame. I mean, the Spider-Man Homecoming was awesome, don't get me wrong, but this movie really carries its own. I mean it. Like, I feel like Jack Kirby and Stan Lee were probably in heaven or down looking at this and was like, oh my gosh, they got our humor, you know, the 60s style of just laugh and joke. The playful humor between Johnny and Ben is just incredible. You know what my favorite part about this whole film was? I don't think anyone ever calls Ben the Thing, not one time. They always call him just Ben. Like, we gotta make Ben because he's a human, you know? And, oh, he's just a pile of rocks that no one cares about. He's got a little maintenance. Like, this was pretty little sweet and impressive. He's got a sweet little Jewish rabbi gal that he goes and visits. She's like, yeah, you have a spiritual guidance? And he's like, I'm here for you, twits. And he's like, oh, it has this real sweet element to it. The movie was great. Well, it was a little long, but it needed to tell this story, and you had to let it breathe. It starts off with them already having superpowers. I think is already a cool element. Like, we don't need another rehashing. I mean, have you been laying under a rock, Ben? I'm picking, that was a dumb joke. But seriously, everyone knows how they became. It's like the Superman Batman thing. Thank you for not giving us this long origin story. We don't need it. So tell a simple little story. And they do what they did 4 years ago. There's a lot of time jumps in this movie. I have like Walter Cronkite. His name is Gilbert something. It reminds me of like Stephen Colbert and Walter Cronkite like rolled into one person. He's like our narrator, which is kind of like giving us our narration, letting us know what has happened. And the guy, it's like everyone just knew their role right away. Pedro Pascal, I'm not a big Mandalorian fan. Oh my gosh, he was incredible as Reed Richards. Like, he got the smart guy part of like, you know, this is too much to handle, what am I doing? Like, in over his head. Really love this movie. I gotta say though, Sue Storm felt like someone's wife. and I got to looking or read about that this is me, this is William Dafoe's wife, and I'm like, man, this was like a Roger Corman thing again, where it's like, whose wife is this? Whose idea? Like some like Dafoe maybe was like, I've been in too many films. My wife's bored. Give her something to do. She'd make a great Sue Storm. And it's like, oh, okay. She just felt like, I'm like, have I ever seen this actress play in anything? I feel like she just kind of got dropped on us, which I was okay with, but just interesting choice, I think, for the cast. Ben was like, I'm like, where did this guy come from? He's a lovable character. Johnny was on point. So his hothead itself and very into the women, but without being a chauvinist bigot. Don't want to give out all of this film. It's actually really decent. Coming off the heels of Superman, this is really hard to digest, because it's like, oh man, I'm really in it for DC, I can't wait to see what Gunn's gonna do with the Justice League. It's great. But then you like step back from it and look at a Matt Shankman film, and it's like, well, okay, so like something in this that I noticed, and I'm like, James Gunn could have made this like really work this element. I don't give out everything. I feel like I've over-explained this film in some way. Herbie's also a little element that's awesome. He is General Grievous' voice. Our little robot character is amazing. James Gunn could have really slowed this element in the best way. The Fantastic Four have to fight the most goofiest, wackiest villains ever. I feel like this is like Jack Kirby and Stan Lee's like very first concept of some like bad guys for the Fantastic. I'm pretty sure Fantastic Four and Spider-Man maybe like Stan Lee and Jack Kirby's like first ideas of a Marvel character superheroes. So that's kind of funny to me. Like they're like, here's the Mole Man and also a team of like dinosaur person, and it's the most wackiest. There's like the Suicide Squad too. Again, Gunn knew how to use all of that to his advantage. This was like, mole people, what do we do with this? And I'm like, okay, well, we'll get to this wacky character later, because I know that's how movies work. Long story short, so the movie goes, Julia Gardner, who is our Silver Surfer, which I don't think we've ever had a female Silver Surfer, but I didn't mind it. And she is pretty awesome. She's like, Galactus is coming. She's kind of like what sets all this into motion. I'm not going to give out all this, but she is the biggest reason why Galactus targets Earth. Pretty much kind of sets the wheels in motion. And Johnny's like, okay, let me figure this out. He's like, I'm the charmer of the... I thought he was going to really miss Chris Evans, Johnny Storm, but this is the guy that played Eddie from the Netflix Stranger Things. He got it. Not only just charms her, he's like, hey, whatever language that she's speaking in, Johnny, he has these like gold records, and he's like playing it back. I figured out her language, what she's done. She saved her world, but in exchange, she's like letting other worlds go to waste by this Galactus guy, who is a large celestial that has to eat planets. I'm afraid that this movie may be just a little too retro for the Gen X generation, because Johnny's like your bad boy from the 50s and 60s who's like jamming out to records and got like the big headset on. All their tech is retro tech, which is the coolest thing ever. I'm in the Vaporwave. I'm in all the Vaporwave groups on Facebook. You can always find me, by the way. This retro tech is on point, and Reed's like coming up with every possibility. He's like, all right, you know what? Let's face this, dude. That's going to be the best way. We'll see our best results. Little spoiler here, but you're going to have to know about it. The movie starts out exactly with Reed and Sue being late for supper that they're having at the Fantastic Four building, and they're like, oh, by the way, Sue's pregnant. So cut to going back into space, and when you see Galactus, he's like, the baby that Sue's pregnant with, that you guys opened your film with, I need it, because he's also a Celestial too. And they're like, what? And he's like, I won't eat Earth in exchange for that baby. So then it gives me Ghostbuster 2 vibes, and I'm like, I'm like, is this element gonna work? I gotta say that this film doesn't work. For everything slow that doesn't work in this film, it really makes up for. Retro tech is one of the coolest parts about this film. They have like a life alert bracelets. This movie kind of reminds me in a short and simple way, The Incredibles. If anyone's ever watched that Disney Pixar, and it's like, The Incredibles copied off Fantastic Four play. I don't know. It's a lot of weird, funny, wacky family elements that I maybe never picked up and realized or noticed before. But this movie worked. Ramping up this review, love the retro tech, which I think I already mentioned, but anytime danger goes out, I want to say, they got like life alert bracelets, like a 60s. Oh my gosh, Reed Richards' whole laboratory gave me like Adam West Batman vibes. Like it's very like 60s, like freaking loved it, okay? That's what I could not take my eyes off. And I'm like, how any Gen X really could connect with this would be amazing to me. But I love the retro. Like Kevin Feige was like, you know what? Finally, I'm going to do it my way. Like he's always done things really well, but this is really like, I think about Matt Shankman, and I'm like, what is he really known for other than WandaVision? But this was really good that he got to do this. I think the man knows a certain thing about retro look for film and television, and he made it work. But Reed does come with a couple of ideas. He's like, okay, reasoning with Galactus didn't work. He wants our baby, so let's do a decoy baby, which the whole baby switcheroo thing, gosh darn it, reminded me of Ghostbusters too, and I had no problems with it. I mean, you think about it, it's got almost the same formula. Before people bring like, the same like suit plus big bad. Yeah, it's two sides of the same coin, but they have to, speaking of coin, have to use Franklin, their baby, as a bargaining chip, almost as a trick to trap Galactus. Yes, he does make it to Earth. I don't want to give out too much more of this film. You guys need to see this. It is a very good, I think this is definitely, without a doubt, this is a lead up to the new Avengers film. That this movie does some time jumps at the end. It shows us a 4-year time jump where Franklin is older. He does make it. Everyone makes it. I thought there was going to be a giant sacrifice because of that trailer. I was like, oh my gosh, Pedro Pascal, he's going to get all stretched out. And, or his elasticity, Bobby. I was like, what's going to happen to him? Sue, everyone makes it. It was great. The baby does have powers, and I don't want to give out too much more. One last thing I do want to mention though, one thing I thought was so genius, like identical like to the old 60s comics and cartoon, the animation. I was like, man, like this was done so respectfully and perfect. I freaking love this movie. I'm gonna give it definitely 4.5 stars. Film my family and I did. My wife and I were in tears. We were laughing. Please go check out this film while it's still in theaters. One of the hot things of the green light cinema heat wave. More Greenlight Cinema heat wave shorts coming back at ya. Brando out. That's all I have to say about this fantastic film. Fantastic Four, First Steps. Go see it in theaters while it's still in there, guys. Or wait till it just comes out on Disney Plus like the rest of us sometimes. Okay, Brando out, guys. Oh, you betcha. That's how you do a movie.